Every society has its own cultural themes. These have a substantial impact on the way that we do business. My name's Selvaratnam. I'm Director of the Training Gateway, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the emerging opportunities in South America. Before we start, however, I thought it'd be quite useful to get you all to do a little bit of work. So you're going to need your voice. My feeling is that if you're going to work in a country, and you've got an interest, I'm assuming, because you're sitting in this audience, you've got an interest in South America, then really you should have at least a basic understanding of that country. So just going to start with a very quick quiz on flags and capital cities of South American countries. So what I need is for you to tell me the flag and the capital city, or tell me the country and the capital city. Okay, any takers on this one? No? Okay, I'll tell you the country. It's Peru. Tell me the capital. Lima, well done. Okay, next one. No? Barbados. Okay, and the capital of Barbados. Bridgetown, thank you very much. Okay, next one. Oh, somebody, I've heard Argentina, yeah. Capital city. Buenos Aires, well done. Easy one here. Brazil, yeah. Brasilia, well done. Okay. Trinidad, okay. Capital city. Port of Spain, well done. One. Chile. Capital city. Santiago, yeah. Okay. Ecuador. No, sorry, Colombia, that one. Capital city. Bogota. And last one. Ecuador. Okay, and Quito, or Guayaquil, depending on whether you're looking at the political or the national capital city. Okay, so we've got an idea now, at least of the countries in South America. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it's really important when you're looking at South America that you don't just look at it as a whole single market. Rather like Europe, every country is different. Every country will have its own ways of doing business, its own culture, its own ways to approach the market. So what I'm just going to do over the next kind of 5 or 10 minutes is just give you a little bit of an idea about the types of opportunities there are in education and training in the markets, and a brief understanding of the approach that could be taken in order to get into that market. So we'll start off with Argentina. In Argentina, as you may have heard in some of the earlier talks today, there's a big emphasis on higher education and upskilling the professional sectors across Argentina. So for those of you involved in higher education, there are lots of opportunities to bid in for scholarships, to take students over to the UK to study a range of subjects, especially those around STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, manufacturing, but also in some of the newer STEM subjects, such as environmental, low-carbon related studies. This next bit will come up time and time again in the South American market. It is very important to have a good partner, agent, distributor, or representative. The red tape, the bureaucracy, the approaches to tax, finance, legal affairs in South America are very complex. And having somebody on the ground who can work through those issues with you is extremely important. So finding the right representative is important. And organisations like UK Trade and Investment and others, the chambers, the business groups, can help you with that. In Argentina, personal contact is very important. Probably no surprise to any of you, but actually working with the people, getting to know them is key. You can't just kind of fly in, win business and go out again. English is understood pretty well. But again, not everybody, and if you're wanting to work with government, especially in Argentina, then you may find that it's much better to conduct that business in Spanish. In Barbados, again, smaller country, but a lot of money allocated to the education sector. Very good literacy rate, and lots of opportunity there for corporate and executive training programs. Online and e-learning is very popular over there. And also, of course, the education partnership programs with universities and also possibly with colleges. Strong interest in technical vocational education. Slightly easier in terms of language. English is the official language there, but again, the use of distributors is recommended if you're going to start working, whether that's delivering training, selling educational products and services. And again, visiting the market, you've got to be there. People want to see you. You can't do business with Barbados from the UK. You've got to get out there and have somebody on the ground. Brazil, of course, no talk on South America would be complete without mentioning Brazil. 5th largest country in the world, massive population, large number of opportunities across all areas of education. Special education needs is growing, so both within the private and the public schools, there's opportunities there for selling the expertise of teachers in special education need, but also all the products and services associated with educating young children with educational needs. Green technology for schools, the green agenda is very, very strong in Brazil. Distance learning, again, a popular approach, and lots of interest from the university sector in Brazil for partnerships. There's a big scholarship program sending people to the UK for higher level degrees and PhDs. Again, it's a difficult market, is Brazil. I mean, I think if I was advising anybody about going into market, yes, Brazil is a very large, very fruitful market, but it is difficult. The language is Brazilian Portuguese. They do like business to be conducted in Brazilian Portuguese. People do speak English, and it's not a complete barrier, but we would always recommend that people take materials in Brazilian Portuguese, and having, again, a local distributor partner on the ground is essential. It's also very price sensitive. People are sometimes surprised, the assumption being there's a lot of money at the top end of Brazil. There is, but they are very, very price sensitive. And this is more important if you're working at the vocational and college end, because actually the investment that's put into that sort of training is great, but in terms of UK pricing structures, it's a very, very price sensitive market. Chile. Chile has a very good higher education system. It's got the 2nd and the 5th best universities in the region. Again, they're trying to upskill and develop the higher education sector, so there's a lot of opportunities for scholarships. At the moment, they're sending over 1,000 students a year to study masters and PhDs abroad. The UK is their favourite destination. Lots of opportunities in English language training, both in professional language training, but also in the training of teachers to teach in schools and teaching of young people with English. ICT, again, both ICT products, but also training teachers in the use of ICT in schools, another good opportunity. And there's also training in niche areas. A lot of interest in accreditation, so if you've got organisations that have accreditation, then accredited programs for the financial services, legal service, hospitality, catering, the whole range. A lot of interest in accredited programs. Again, as with all the markets, you've got to be there. Using an agent. Franchising is quite popular as well in Chile. Again, very price sensitive. Chilean business is normally conducted in Spanish, but senior managers will speak English. So again, it's possible, but having materials in Spanish is always an advantage. And again, your local partner or distributor or agent will be able to conduct that with you. Now, Colombia. This has been a market that's come onto the radar, I think, in the last few years, and it's definitely a priority market for UK trade and investment. They're looking at the opportunities there, expecting there to be some very large opportunities coming out of Colombia. They're upskilling their higher education areas. They're building the capacity at both training lecturers, developing the kind of PhD approach. Very strong interest in teacher training, again trying to link the higher education system with the secondary and primary education to make sure there's a kind of smooth transition. So the training of teachers, development of curriculum, very important. Lot of emphasis on teaching English or training teachers to teach in English. That's a large number of programs there and lots of opportunities for British organisations to come in and train teachers around teaching English. The environmental and maritime management courses, again, a growing area, and oil and gas. And the development of degrees as well in those areas. That's something that isn't necessarily embedded within the higher education system in Colombia at the moment, but again, there's lots of opportunities. And within the vocational, again, in oil and gas, marine, et cetera, et cetera. Agents, distributors, said again and again, you need them. Business is very personal in Colombia. They like to get to know you. Whatever your product is, it's about you and your product, but you are the important thing in any relationship in Colombia. And again, language, initial approaches tend to be in Spanish. Those businesses that win work are those that are actually able to conduct at least the initial business in Spanish. Ecuador, an interesting market, lots of higher education scholarships again. It seems to be a common theme throughout South America, the development of scholarship programs so that their students can come and study joint degrees, part-time degree, joint degrees over in the UK at master's and PhD level. Again, teacher training as they develop their education opportunities. Again, that also means there's opportunities to sell the products and services within the school sector. Ecuadorian law is difficult, to say the least. It's very complex, especially if you're working with government. So local agent, somebody on the ground who understands the legal requirements. Ecuador is also very much based on family relationships and family structures, family business. So they like personal relationships. They want to get to know you. One of the things we often find is that companies like to give everybody in the South American business side the opportunity to go to each of the countries. Doesn't work. Actually, what they want is the same person coming back time and time again because they get to know you. It sounds great to say, oh, I want to give my colleague the opportunity to go there. They may well be starting from scratch if you do that. You're much better to keep sending the same person back and back again if you can. Most of the large government projects and private projects are released through large tenders in the local newspapers. So it's important that if you are looking at Ecuador, that you have some way of accessing the tenders that will be published in the local newspapers. English, again, widely spoken, but promotional material, it's quite useful to have that in Spanish. You may well deal with the first port of call, maybe somebody who speaks good English, but the actual person who's going to be the signature on the contract or the actual buyer, the person with the purse strings, may not speak that good in English. So having materials in Spanish will definitely give you an advantage. And then the final country I just want to look at is Peru. Lots of interest in the STEM subjects. Obviously, they've got big oil and gas, they've got big mining, technical training, vocational training, and also higher education training to support the professions in the oil and gas and the mining sector of great interest. Again, they've got a fantastic scholarship scheme, so opportunities for universities and colleges to bring students over here. They have specific sectors that they want those scholarships to be in, so it does tend to be within the STEM and engineering areas. But there are other opportunities for creative, cultural, creative and digital PhDs and scholarships as well. English language training, big area both in professional training and in the schools and teacher training area. Large projects tend to come out by tenders managed by an organisation called Pro-Inversion, and I've left you the website there. It's quite a useful website. It's in English as well as in Spanish. In Peru, they like you to have been working in the region already. It's quite difficult just to go in there with no experience in working in South America. So if you've got links, if you've done business in any other country in South America, push that. They like to know you're experienced in the market. The British Chambers in Peru are very active. They do a lot of the training for businesses. They will have large portfolios of training courses, and I know when I was there recently, the Chambers were very interested in working with British training providers to extend their portfolio. Again, it's price sensitive, but there are opportunities if you've got a niche professional management training program, and they do like the accreditation. They like something that's accredited by a professional institute or charter. Again, English is spoken widely, but they do prefer to deal in Spanish. Oh, one more, sorry. Trinidad and Tobago, don't want to miss Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of investment in education and training in there. A lot of investment in the technical and vocational arena as well. They're capacity building in higher education, so there's opportunities for university partnerships. There's a strong interest in corporate training as well. Again, if you've got a niche corporate training, professional training program that will build upon the strengths of senior leaders, senior managers, then there's good opportunities there. Wide range of sectors: healthcare, tourism, offshore oil and gas, climate change, disaster management. You can see there large array of areas where they're looking to grow and develop the professional skills. Working with local partners again and agents. They also have a lot of tertiary training organisations there, so if you can get contact with them, sometimes that can be a good way to enter the market. They will have the client base already, but maybe looking for more exciting or innovative products and services that you can deliver through them. I know Mexico isn't in South America, but I didn't want to kind of finish without just saying a little bit about Mexico. Again, it's a growing market. People have been put off for various reasons about Mexico, but actually it's a great place to do business. Lots of opportunities across the range, through from vocational right through to the higher education and professional training programs. Lots of opportunities in oil and gas sector, lots of opportunities in the English language training sector, and that's not just for the training, it's also for the products around those professions. Again, procurement tends to be by tender. You need your local agent. Local offices, also a very good way in Mexico. If you can set up a local office, that's fantastic. They like hierarchy, they like titles, they like to see the senior people. So that's kind of one thing to bear in mind if you're looking at that market and want to develop some good relationships. You will need to send the senior people in your organisation to broker those relationships. Timekeeping is quite relaxed in Mexico. It will happen when it happens. And business is often done in person, but it's often done outside of the office as well. Socialising, the kind of meal after work, that sort of thing. So again, you've got to be prepared that it's not just the 9 to 5, you're not just there and we do the business in the office. No, going out for the meal, meeting the family, very important way of securing that business and developing that relationship. Okay. I think I've probably run out of my time, just about. So what I thought I would do is just to go back over the key things, I think, when entering South American markets. Yes, they are all different. Every market will have different cultural norms, different ways of doing business. But in general, there are some guidelines. Public procurement, as in the UK, tends to be done by tender, advertised in local newspapers. It is important to have local agents, local partners, local distributors. If you can have a joint venture or a regional office, again, that will enhance your success rate. English is spoken, but if you can do business in the local language, that will definitely give you an advantage. Even if it's just having your materials in the local language, that will be good. It is price sensitive, some markets more so than others, or some countries more so than others, but it is price sensitive, and it's a relationship-based culture. They like to see you, they like that face-to-face work. Very poor infrastructure in some areas, that can be a hindrance, but of course that's also an opportunity. Not only as infrastructure is developed, there's also training associated with that as well. So that's something to bear in mind. So as I started off saying, it's important to understand the culture. It's important to understand that the different cultures have an impact on the way business is done. So what I just want to leave you with is what I find quite an interesting slide. It's about what we say, what we mean, and how people from overseas may interpret what we're saying. Thank you very much.